All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellas, what's up? What's happening right now? Thursday Night Football, the Bucks, and what's left of their receiving core right now tonight. And we'll even see if it gets crazier with Mike Evans news. Scotty Miller expected to play, Mike Evans optimistic to play. It doesn't really sound too encouraging, but we'll see what happens there. And welcome. You get the Bears on the opposite side of that one, where you get a couple of things looking decent on the Bears side. We're going to crack all down into it. Just ran my final exposures, updated the interest over on Patreon, link down below. Everything is set up. I see people in here. What's up? So, before you go, hit the like, hit the subscribe before this thing rolls off. I would really like to, by the end of the week, by the time we finish up Sunday stream, be at 30,000 subscribers. By the end of the day today, we should be around 200 and change away. So, make that a little bit quicker right here by hitting the like, subscribe, tell your brother, your mother, your aunt, your uncle, your sister, your nephew, whatever you got to do. Do it all. And this video is sponsored by SuperDraft. If you're not yet already over on SuperDraft, as I pull up the SuperDraft projections tonight, a tradition unlike any other, saying the top play on the day on SuperDraft, get up in there. 50% deposit match. You're literally getting free dollar Rooskies in a slow drip format up to $1,000 Rooskies. So 50% deposit match if you use the promo code SAL, S-A-L. It's a multiplier format. My top player in SuperDraft tonight, Darnell Mooney, the rookie himself, the rookie wide receiver right now on the Chicago Bears, who's actually the number 2 wide receiver over the last 3 weeks in targets, in snaps, in everything on the outside. He has a 3x multiplier. I have him projected for 29.7 SuperDraft points. That is more than 2.5 points higher than anybody else on the slate. So go ahead and sign up. SAL, S-A-L, link down below. Start your lineups with Darnell Mooney, and you're going to have a nice leg over the field for a lot of people who might not even know who he is and scroll down there with his 3x multiplier. So we're going to start it all off. See some people up in here right now. Sal got the high insight. Yeah, I got a haircut earlier today. Yeah, my barber's going to be going out of town in a couple days for 3 weeks. So I don't know if I'm going to last for I don't even know, 24 days. That sounds miserable. I get my haircut every 2 weeks. 24 days sounds miserable. I might have to cut it myself or just go somewhere else. Somebody says with the new format, yeah, I got some videos coming out tomorrow with a beach background. I got a video coming out on Saturday with a little bit of a different format. I want to be trying some things up. Also, I started a second YouTube channel, Big Energy Sports. Nothing's up there yet, but there will be starting next week. I'm going to be focusing that one towards sports betting, not just myself. There'll be some other creators on there as time goes on. Don't know who yet, but as time goes on, I'm going to start to try and dig up some under noticed, I would say, or people who don't get enough recognition creators that I can find on the YouTube streets who do good content. What's up, everybody? I see a bunch of people hopping in. I'm about to answer a bunch of questions in here. Sal got the fade, right? Yeah, definitely. I mean, my man is fantastic, my barber. Ronald Jones is captain thoughts. Badass haircut. Somebody says, thanks. Yeah, Ronald Jones is captain. I mean, it looks good, right? What can I say? There's no Leonard Fournette tonight. There's going to be, it's just pretty much no LaShawn McCoy. It is Ronald Jones tonight, and it is the rookie Keyshawn Vaughn. So they both look good. I really like right now Ronald Jones. I have 95% Ronald Jones. I don't want to have that, but I have 50% captain, 45% utility, so I'm pretty sure that adds up to 95% Ronald Jones right now. So, yeah, I got a lot of Ronald Jones. It doesn't feel great. The Bears have a really good defense. I don't really know if I want to be on this side of it, but I'm there right now. I got him projected for 17 points, and he just grades out too good. He's a big favorite with a nice team implied total. Yes, Bears defense looks good. Hell, if you're just going to catch 6 passes for 17 yards, 9 targets, the guy's just bricking everything. I wouldn't be shocked if Ronald Jones halfway through gets a little bit benched because he just keeps dropping stuff, and then it's Keyshawn Vaughn night. So that would be my biggest concern on him not getting there. Because of his overall usage right now, he's averaging just when Fournette's not on the field in the 2 games, he's pretty much seen 19 carries and he's seen 6 targets, 25 opportunities per game. On a showdown slate, I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but as favorites, I think he's probably going to push towards 20 opportunities. It's hard to pass that up on this type of a slate. Sam French donates $5, and he is the guy who donates every single week for me just to say Gyalf. So, he says Gyalf. The Gyalf event started this morning. Pretty nice field. Would have been even better if it wasn't for Tony Finau getting the COVID. But somebody says Aaron Rodgers captain. Yeah, 100% Aaron Rodgers captain. Money looks good on the tape. Hey, I like the old format. Sharp and precise, somebody says. I mean, this one will get cleaner, I guess, if that's the case. I don't know what's different really outside of the screen is 2 inches smaller maybe. 2 inches smaller. Brady over 260 yards. He's right at that for me, so I think that line's fine if you're trying to find that. Is it okay to play Vaughn and Jones together? Yes. I don't have any rules set against that. How's your day been? The day has been fine. It's been okay. What group of wide receivers you taking more of, Chicago or Tampa Bay? I mean, the answer is both, right? Both of the groups of wide receivers look good tonight. All the wide receivers look good. I'm getting, as of right now, a lot of Allen Robinson and Mooney, but I'm also getting a lot of Evans, Scotty Miller. I'm getting more of the wide receiver 3 from the Bucks and Tyler Johnson than the wide receiver 3 from the Bears and Anthony Miller right now. Somebody says eyebrows on fleek. I feel like you have to play one of Jones or Vaughn. I think you're fine playing both because of the price point. The price point of $1,000 on Keyshawn Vaughn to potentially see 6 minimum, maybe 8 to 10 touches tonight right? I mean, this team likes to run 2 running backs, right? They were running 3 running backs. LaShawn McCoy was seeing 5 touches a game as the 3rd running back in this offense. Now there's no LaShawn McCoy or Leonard Fournette. So there's a good chance Ronald Jones sees 20 touches. There's a good chance Keyshawn Vaughn sees 10. At $1,000, if Keyshawn Vaughn sees 10, and he was the primary pass catching back last week when he came into the game over Ronald Jones, who kept dropping everything, there's a good chance Keyshawn Vaughn can see 5 or 6 targets in this game. He really can. There's a good chance that he could become the 3rd down back tonight, and Ronald Jones is just on the first 2 downs. So Keyshawn Vaughn looks really good. I'm getting close to 40%. He's just too cheap for a guy who's going to be on the field in that much usage right now. Mike Harm says, $5 donation. He says, A.J. Brown and Miles Sanders for Mike Thomas, yes or no? So for Michael Thomas, yes or no, which side of that do I want to be on? I would want to be on the side of A.J. Brown and Miles Sanders. Nick Boyle or no tonight? Yeah. Anticipated workload for Vaughn, etc., estimated carries and projected yards. So, yeah, there you go. I pretty much just pinned it out for you. I would expect from Keyshawn Vaughn tonight probably somewhere between 6 to 8 touches as a median projection, but I really do think that the upside is very much so there for a double-digit touch tonight. Who should go into captain spot if you're playing both QBs? I mean, I don't have any ownership to the QBs in the captain spot. Neither of them are mobile. I don't expect a crazy high-scoring game for them to get like a 5-touchdown game like Brady had last week. I mean, I have all wide receivers and Ronald Jones. Pretty much the top 3 wide receivers from each team, for the most part, will be captain considerations for me. Not to that exact extent. And then Ronald Jones as well. Do you play Scotty or Evans even if they are hurt? Yeah, I mean, they're both going to be banged up, which is worrisome. Mike Evans seems a little bit more banged up because they're saying he's optimistic to play instead of ruling him in or saying that he's good to go like Scotty Miller has been said. I get more Mike Evans, but I have a lot of both. Would you rather play Allen Robinson as captain or Brady? Allen Robinson. How much do you have of the QBs? Nothing in the captain spot of the QBs, but I'm getting about 60% of both of them in my utility. Matt Ryan and Jacobs or Lamar and Gibson? So this is a season-long question, I assume. Yeah, not going to answer many season-long questions here, but since I read it, I'll answer it. PPR format, I will go with Lamar and Gibson. Are you talking about why are you doing a 2v2? Is this DFS related? Somebody says wrong video. Hey, Sal, are you sitting all the Bengals this week? Question mark. If you're talking about season long, I don't have any stance. I'm not sitting Joe Mixon if you own him in your season long. Thoughts on Brait? No interest. I have 0% Brait. I'm not getting much tight ends at all tonight. I have 6% Graham and I have 3% Gronk. They're just overpriced. Like, there's a chance that Gronk, who played the most snaps he has played last week, there's a chance in the last, 2 weeks ago, and then he played another 85% last week. There's a chance that he can go out there and be fine, right? And he can get a little bit of an increased role if they need it. He's just still blocking like 60% of the time. It's not the biggest of bumps right now. Aiden donates $5. He says, Vaughn in the captain spot, how much money is too much to leave on the table? Vaughn in the captain spot, I don't have any. I don't think it's that outlandish because I do think there's a chance that he could see 10 to 12 touches and half of them can be receptions, right? If Vaughn posts a line tonight for 4 carries for 12 yards and he catches 6 balls for 50 yards and a touchdown, I mean, that's a decent line for your price point, right? I mean, that's borderline whatever that might come out to, right? 6, 50, whatever it is, like 15, 16 fantasy points. So I'm not going to do it. I don't have any Vaughn in my captain spot right now. My only running back in there in the captain spot is Jones. The rest are wide receivers. How much is too much to leave on the table? All of my lineups will have at least $700 on the table, but I'm looking at some right now. This lineup has $2,900. This lineup has $1,100. So, yeah, I'm fine. This one has $2,700. So, there's not an exact number. As long as you have a high projected lineup that is not going to be insanely chalky on a showdown slate or as little as you can get away from the chalk, and if you're leaving a lot of money, it probably won't be as chalky and more unique. Yeah, if you're leaving like $10,000 on the table, that's likely too much. But anything in the couple thousand range, I'm fine with. Hey, fellas, hit that like or get out. Somebody says, yeah. Do you play Thrive, Big Sal? I do not play Thrive, no. They have reached out a couple times to try and set up some sort of deals, but it's just not something that is going to work out as of right now. 20 max, do you have a core of captain? I haven't ran any 20 max yet. Right now, I just plan to play 150. I might play 20 max. I do like the 20 max showdown contest, I will admit. So I'll probably run 20 max. Let me just run a 20 max crunch now. I mean, there's going to be things that I change for my 20 max crunch, but from a randomness perspective, but I'll just run it right now. If I run a 20 max lineup, I'm going to have majority Ronald Jones captain. Are you playing any of the defenses? Yeah, in my 150, it's not a lot. Like kickers and defenses, I'm just meh too, right? Like I'll have single digit ownership to the defenses. I'll have mid-teens to the kickers right now. You mentioned Montgomery is not interesting on negative game script, but he did get 6 targets last week. Can you further explain? Thanks. Yeah, I don't have much interest in Montgomery. This defense is not allowed like more than 50 yards rushing, not more than 3 yards per carries. For 2 years now, this defense has been run game since the beginning of last year, just absolutely dominating, right? And they've shut down Kamara, they've shut down CMC, they've shut down every single running back that they faced. Obviously, things can change with Montgomery. The offensive line does look a little bit better for them. And yeah, he had 6 touches. I'm going to be interested to see if when the inactives come out, if Artavius Pierce is active. If Artavius Pierce is active, you can kind of kiss away much of the upside in which you're going to get out of David Montgomery passing game role. 6 targets would be fantastic, right? If you see that again, I don't think he's a good pass catching back. So if he brings in 5 of those 50 yards, that's obviously good. I'm leveraging that doesn't happen. I'm leveraging that they actually have somebody active for this game. Artavius Pierce, they re-signed to the practice squad before the last week's game. He's somebody that can come in and actually play a little bit of a satellite role, at least better than Montgomery. So if he's active, I would feel terrible about David Montgomery's pass catching abilities, or not terrible, but a little bit worse if there's news that he's actually going to take snaps. Like we got news on Damian Harris, going to get carries, and he gets them all. So yeah, Montgomery 6 targets. I have Montgomery tonight projected for like 3.7 targets. So if he brings in 3 of those, that's fine. I just don't think he's going to get anything on the ground. Montgomery is a touchdown or bust tonight, in my opinion. And based on his price point at what is he at like tonight? $7,800. Yeah, based on his price point, it's just tough to want to get there. He's going to be, I don't even think he's going to be that contrarian. Like on a showdown slate, I still think the starting running back on the Bears is still going to hook out at least a third of the ownership, probably closer to 50%. So it's just an easy fade. I have currently 0% Montgomery. Your lineups with A-Rob and the captain. Do you need Foles? You don't need Foles, no. I mean, I could try and like scroll to one of my lineups that has A-Rob in the captain spot. So this lineup does have Foles in it. I mean, I'm getting right now like 20% A-Rob in the captain spot. So I don't think that he's not going to be paired with Foles in every single one of my lineup. I don't have a rule set pretty much to say like if my captain is a wide receiver, automatically give me his quarterback. I don't have a rule for that because there's game flows where you can say that works, but there's also game flows and you don't want to exclude yourself completely from them to put A-Rob in the captain spot because he goes off, but Brady goes off on the other side. Pair him up with some of his receivers, and it's a distribute of the wealth a little bit there in the opposite side, and that's how it pays off without needing Foles as long as Brady outscores Foles. Would you include both quarterbacks? I'm sure some of my lineups will. What's up, brother? What's going on, Cody? Johnson or McKins, and why? Johnson has been running as the wide receiver 4 in this team. He will run as the wide receiver 3 tonight. He played 25 snaps last week. Tyler Johnson, the rookie, will get a lot more work than Mickens or whatever his name is. I don't even know if Mickens will be active. I assume they're going to want a wide receiver 4 active. So I would think so, especially since they're down a tight end as well. It's not like they can just run 3 tight ends and see if that works out for them. So we're going to get the inactives. I don't even know who else is on their chart. I'm assuming that they elevated a practice squad player to have like a 5th wide receiver potentially if they need to. Somebody says 600 plus already in here. Yeah, I haven't even been checking how many people are hopping in. Appreciate it. What's up? 750 now. Awesome. Will Mike Evans go over 65.5 yards? If he was healthy, I would like that number. It's a little bit concerning that he's not, though, so I'm kind of staying away from that. Can you pair Rojo with Brady? Yeah, on a showdown slate you can, right? I mean, Brady's expensive, but I mean, Rojo at his price point, he doesn't need to hit the 20 fantasy point or 18 fantasy point projection, whatever you're going to see. I have him at 17 right now. If Rojo goes for 14.5 fantasy points tonight, which is a modest effort, but he's only $7,400, that could be enough. And if Brady goes for his around 20, it's going to be more than fine. So, yeah, on a showdown slate, it's okay. And Rojo, 9 targets last week. There is a little bit correlation between him and Brady. I do think Keyshawn Vaughn's going to steal some of that, but obviously not all of it. So, on a showdown slate, you could pair not the greatest of pass-catching running backs, although getting volume, you could still pair them with their quarterback. I have 50% fucking captains of Rojo right now, so I'm looking at my first one right here, and it's got Brady in it. So yeah, they're gonna be fine with Brady. Looking at second one, Brady. Third one doesn't have Brady, so it's okay. Ryan Coleman donates $5. Says keep Brian in, brother. Doesn't even have a question. Appreciate that, man. Hope you're having a good night. How do you like Cameron Brate tonight? I have 0%. I don't like him. In theory, you would think that he takes a role increase, but O.J. Howard's role wasn't even that good on this team. It was okay. He was scoring touchdowns, so you heard his name on Red Zone or whatever, and that's why you're like, oh, he's doing good this year. And he was doing okay for his role, but O.J. Howard was running 15 routes per week in the 3 weeks that he was healthy. Cameron Brate was running 3 routes per week. So if Cameron Brate goes from running 3 routes a week to running 12 today, I just don't have interest, right? If you tell me that Cameron Brate's going to run 10 to 12 routes tonight at 3,800, it doesn't feel that great. If he somehow finds a role out of nowhere because they don't have wide receivers and he's running 25 routes, which I don't expect, well, then yeah, obviously he's a good play, but I think that's a very unlikely outcome. I think more times than not, Brate runs probably 12 routes tonight, and Gronk would see the bigger bump there. Vaughn or Johnson on DK? I'm going to get more Vaughn. Johnson or Vaughn in the utility? I'm getting more Vaughn. I don't have an issue with Johnson, though. I wish I can get more Johnson, but I just don't need to go down that low at $200. The upside, of course, in Johnson is that he can score 15 points at that $200 price point. I have Vaughn projected for 7 points. I have Johnson projected for about 6. If I change my projection on Johnson, because I'm pretty much projecting him to catch at this point 2.5 passes, but if I change my projection, it's going to be so minute. If I barely change this projection on Tyler Johnson right now, so let me pull him up. But like I'm talking like a point because of how cheap he is. I assume it's going to change a lot in my exposures. So let's see what we get here. So I have him at like 6. Let's put him at the exact same projection as Keyshawn Vaughn and see what happens if I crunch I crunch 20 by accident. Let's see what happens if I crunch 120 with the exact same projection. I don't have him at that, but let's just see what happens just to run a little test here because he's way cheaper, so you would expect him to get into more lineups, but maybe we don't need the salary. Thoughts on Gronk if Evans is out? I would like Gronk more if Evans is out. Right now, I don't have any interest in Gronk. What do you think about Robinson at captain? Seems fine. How many uniques do you like for Showdown NFL? How many uniques like to set your... You don't mean like unique lineups. You're meaning uniques in terms of your general rules. You can do whatever you want, honestly. I'm fine with 1. I'm fine with 2. You'll get more different lineups, obviously, if you use 2 or 3, but I think 1's okay, too. So let's see the difference now. So I got Keyshawn Vaughn in... So I got more Tyler Johnson if I bump up his projection by literally a point. I end up getting from... I lose 12%. Oh, wow, I lose a lot of Keyshawn Vaughn, so I might have to do this. I'm looking at a 20 lineup right now, though, so let's see. I would lose Keyshawn Vaughn in about 10% of my lineups, and I would gain Tyler Johnson in about 14, so kind of an even split there. So I think I might do that. I'm gonna roll with probably this one right here that gives an extra point to Tyler Johnson. Do you see a kicker in the optimal lineup? I mean, 1 can get in. I have a rule set to only get 1, so I have pretty much mid-teens in both kickers tonight. Do you think A-Rob is going to get shut down tonight? No, I don't think they have anybody who can shut him down. I mean, Carlton Davis is out there. Dean's out there, I think, Jamal Dean. But those guys are no match for A-Rob, in my opinion. But 2, he moves all around the field. He's in 30% of every single position, so no. Do you typically play more cheaper, bigger contests on DK or smaller contests with more money involved? Both. So I'll max out like the 20 max for $3. I'll max out those types of contests. And then I'll play like the 333, which was the big tournament that we hit last week. The $100 single entries. But I'm not playing the ones that have like 100,000 people in them. I'm finding the alternative ones that have 200 people in them, right? Like when you play, not Showdown Slate doesn't matter as much, but when you play like NBA or even NFL, when you play a contest, any sport really, where a guy who's at 0.1% ownership goes off, and if you're playing in a contest that has 200,000 people in it, well, a lot of people are going to have that guy, and you're just going to have no chance of winning first. If you're playing in a contest that only has 200 people in it, probably 0 people have that player. And if anybody has it, maybe it's 1, and then they have to have the perfect lineup after that. So you just don't get screwed over by like obscure things, right? It's really annoying when a guy at 0.1% ownership, a tight end like Tyler Higbee that week, scores 3 touchdowns. In the contest that I play, where most of my like capital is in like those 333s and the $100 and the alternative contests that are less people and come out later in the day, or you got to scroll on Draftkings to find them, the smaller field contests, that doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Nobody's playing that guy because he's a bad play, and you don't have to worry about getting screwed over by him. You got any null? He played 1 snap last week. No, I don't even know if he'll be active. They might make Pierce active over him. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. No problem. What do we think? So, out of curiosity, who do you think will do better today, Foles or Brady? I have Brady projected for more points, so I will go with Brady there. I have Brady as my highest projected player, which shouldn't really shock anybody because he's the most expensive. From a value standpoint, I actually still have Brady as a better value over Foles, just barely. It's pretty identical. What is your lineup percentage of QBs in the captain? 0%. Who would you put in the captain on Superdraft? I think Darnell Mooney looks like the best player in Superdraft tonight. Captain, whatever it might be. I think he looks like the best play. I think that your most consistent play and also probably the most owned play will be Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones I also have as the top 5 projected Superdraft play. So if you're looking just for consistency in a min cash, Ronald Jones. If you're looking for a lot of upside tonight in your captain spot, I would say that Darnell Mooney, Scotty Miller, and Keyshawn Vaughn will be less owned. The ones that will be highly owned will be Ronald Jones, Allen Robinson, and Nick Foles, but they also project out nicely. Should I run Gronk tonight? Yeah, up to you. I currently don't really have any Gronk, I don't think. I have 3% Gronk, so some. New York media is getting at Boone. What are your thoughts on his decision to handle the pitching rotation? Yeah, I've like turning on the games and not really paying attention to too much baseball right now. It's just not as intriguing to me. Does Gronk get more touches tonight because of the injuries? If Mike Evans is out, maybe. Like in theory, you would think so, but I'm not really projecting him for a bigger role. I mean, O.J. Howard being out, you would think that that's going to help Brait, right? Justin Watson being out, you think that helps Tyler Johnson the most. And Godwin being out, you think that helps Tyler Johnson the most, right? Because Justin Watson was Godwin's backup. Pretty much they're just down 2 slot wide receivers and a tight end tonight. So Cameron Brate steps into O.J. Howard's role, in my opinion. And Tyler Johnson just steps into Justin Watson's role, who was already stepping into Chris Godwin's role. So, like, the actual impact of tonight's game, like, chemistry-wise, yeah, if Evans is healthy, you would think that Brady goes there a little bit more, and Scotty Miller, because he just played more snaps with them. But actual, like, impact in their roles tonight, Tyler Johnson's getting elevated in his role, Keyshawn Vaughn's getting elevated in his role, and Cameron Brate's getting elevated in his role. I don't really see a huge role increase for Gronk. What about putting the Bucks defense as a captain? I'm not going to have any defense in the captain. I mean, the defense in the captain will hit like 3 times a year on all 3 of the main showdown slates, right? Sunday, Monday, and last year they hit like 5 times because 3 of them were the New England Patriots defense, but they'll hit like 3 times a year, like once an entire season on the Sunday, once an entire season on Thursday, like on average, right? 3 to 5 times. So I just don't play them. Like, I'm not just trying to get 5%, 10% defense in the captain spot, hoping that one day I'll hit it. Obviously, it'll be usually lower owned, but if it's a unique slate, like the one slate we had it when it was a really low-scoring slate last week, I had like 3% defense there, but I'm probably not going to go there. Can I play Brady at the captain? You can, but you're probably going to need 2 things to happen. Either a shootout, and he's got like 5 touchdowns to 5 different receivers. Maybe QB sneaks ones in, right? He just has a ton of overall points, like 35 to 40 overall fantasy points, and nobody else is within 10 of him, right? Because he's expensive. And he doesn't have mobility. So if you don't get the rushing touchdowns, or you're not going to get rushing yards, you don't get the QB sneak touchdown type of that, it's going to be really tough. And you need him to spread the ball around, right? If Brady has 5 touchdowns and 3 of them are to Evans or 2 of them are to Scotty Miller, odds are one of those guys is the captain. So you need a lot to go right, or you need to be super low scoring, right? You need it to be like 14-3 Patriots, and Brady throws touchdowns to 2 separate guys, but he only has like 100 passing yards, and those guys only got like 20 each, right? So you can. I just think that when a quarterback is not mobile and they're really expensive, it's difficult to want to get them there. Just joined your Patreon last night. Awesome info, says Richard. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, be sure to check it out. I'll link down below Patreon. Patreon.com/Sal_Vetri_. I'll just throw the link in here. About 400 people over there supporting. I appreciate it. But, I mean, it's not just like a charity thing. There's a ton of content. Rankings and projections are up right now. For the Thursday night slate. The Closing Thoughts podcast will be this weekend. 20-plus pages of game-by-game notes went out. The projections and rankings for every single position on the main slate is all out. Check it all out. A lot of people have done really well so far in the NFL this year on Patreon. The tools, the projections, I've really changed a lot of stuff over the offseason for those. How'd your first Millie Maker go last week? Yeah, so Millie Maker I played on Monday night, the 2-game slate. Those things, I mean, just don't play them, right? So we had a big weekend on Sunday, a huge week. So we played the Millie Maker, the 2-game slate. We had 22% of our lineups with Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. Like 22% of your lineups with the nut combo. You needed those 2 if you wanted to win the tournament or finish highly. 22% of our lineups. Jamal Williams was 5% owned, right? I had like 18%, something crazy, or 28%, something like that. Having those 2 in that many lineups, still lost $200. That's how bad the Millie Maker is. That's how bad the payout structures are, right? So many people, not only are the payout structures terrible from first place being $1 million to second place being $100,000, like that's an awful jump, right? And then even after that, it's bad. But when you tie in like 30th place or whatever my highest lineup finished, like 30th or something, whenever you tie there, you're splitting it with like the next 400 prizes, so you're not getting your actual upside. So yeah, the Millie Makers, I'm convinced that if you don't win the Millie Maker long term, you will never win money playing the Millie Maker. It's just how it is. Sal, thoughts on Montgomery? I got in late, 12-hour delay. Yeah, I have 0% Montgomery. I actually excluded him from my player pool because I was getting like 35%, and I just don't want it. Do you have any lines with Brady, Rojo, and Vaughn? I'm sure I do. I mean, I'm not going to like scorch through them. I'm sure I have that combo in there. I don't have any rules against it. I'm trying to scroll quick to see if it pops up. There's one with Rojo and Brady, but no Vaughn. There's one with Rojo, Vaughn, and Brady. Yep, yeah, so I do. Jones or Robinson at the captain spot tonight? I have more Jones, but they're my 2 highest owned. Camera break, guys, question mark. I haven't projected for like 3.5 points, so I'm not going to get any. Looks like Evans is in. Perfect. That saves me time. Jay Williams killed me. Yeah, I mean, Jamal Williams was, look, I'm not going to say he was the obvious play. Like, if you watch this stream, I pretty much said they're going to use Jamal Williams as basically like the second or third option tonight. It's going to be Aaron Jones, MVS, Jamal Williams, and Tanyan as the top 4 options. All those dusty old receivers named Malik Taylor, and that was literally on practice squad, cut 3 times. That guy... Obviously, he's way better than me, but that guy's confidence is nowhere near being able to get open against NFL cornerbacks. He's a practice squad guy who's been cut from 3 practice squads. Same exact thing can be said for Darius Shepard. He's ran a little bit more routes, 15 this year, but those guys are bad players. The Packers had a plan. Use your tight ends, use your basically running backs, and like one of your receivers. And that's what happened. I wasn't expecting Jamal Williams to have like 95 receiving yards on 8 catches. I was expecting him to probably see like 5 or 6 targets. He just went off. And yeah, that's what happens. I mean, obviously, if I thought he was going to have a bigger day, I would have had 80% of him, but we had like 28%, and we had the nuts lineups, right? Like so close to them, one player off in one spot here and there, and you still lose money in the Millie Maker if you literally don't have the nuts. It's crazy if you're playing 150 because how many places that you tie. Millie Maker is only profitable if your name is RBX88. Is that the guy who's won a couple times? Yeah. Sal, what's good? Double up cash line up. Double up cash. I mean, I'm not playing double ups tonight, and I'm not playing cash tonight. I mean, single entry double ups I'll consider cash, but I mean, I don't consider large field double ups cash games personally. I tied the Millie Maker week 1 on 3 lineups. Still owe you peanut M&Ms. Nice. What up, Sal? Looking sharp. Thanks, appreciate it. Any chance you throw Trubisky into a few lineups? No, that's just trying to burn your money, right? The one time that Baker Mayfield comes in on a Thursday night football game, like last year in week 2 or 3, and ends up in the winning lineup, right? Those times that it happens, like Jared Stidham came in on whatever the Monday night game was, he wasn't in the winning lineup. He came in for like a whole fourth quarter. I don't have any interest in trying to guess the backup quarterbacks that come in. I just don't. What kind of night do you think Jimmy Graham has? A night where I have him projected for exactly, link down below on Patreon. Go check him out. He's expensive. He's $6,800, and he's like, at best, I would say he's the 3A or 3B option in a passing game. That's not a good passing game. So I have him at 8.4 fantasy points. If Jimmy Graham doesn't score a touchdown, I'd be shocked if he's in a winning lineup. Like, even if Jimmy Graham has a good day for Jimmy Graham, 5 catches, 50 yards, like that's way above expectation for him. If he doesn't find the end zone, 10 points at 6,800 is not getting it done for you when there's a guy right now at $200 and a guy at $1,000 in the slate that project out very close. Like, I have Keyshawn Vaughn projecting out and Tyler Johnson for like a point less, a point and a half less, 2 points, no, a point and a half less than Jimmy Graham. And they're $5,800 less and $6,200, $6,500 less, right? So I just can't get there. That's why I'm not getting to those guys like Gronk, Jimmy Graham, Anthony Miller. I'm not getting a lot or any of them because there's literally guys that are thousands of dollars, $6,000 more in some cases or less, and they're projecting out for similar points. Miller or Mooney? Mooney for me. Hey, Sal, A-Rob at captain, then double the QB, Rojo, and kicker is the optimal, right? Probably not. I mean, I don't know what you mean by optimal. If you're talking about playing a cash game, I mean, I just don't recommend cash games on Showdown slates. Like, that would be my actual advice. I would play double. If you're trying to play a cash game tonight, I would play A-Rob, I would play Ronald Jones, I would play double quarterbacks and try and fit the rest in after that. I would not be playing a kicker tonight, no. You have a $200 player who projects out better than kickers and has more upside in Tyler Johnson. You have a $1,000 play in Keyshawn Vaughn, who is going to project out and similar with more upside than the kickers. So in cash games, I don't think playing the kickers are optimal tonight. When Keyshawn Vaughn and, even you have a really cheap Darnell Mooney who looks really good. But when Keyshawn Vaughn and Tyler Johnson, he's obviously $200. He's projecting out for 28 times value for me right now, which is just insane. And that's not even me fully updating it. Let me do this. Now he's projecting out for 34 times value if I update that. Thanks, Sal. You're amazing. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah. So go over to the second channel if you got a second. I haven't put a single thing on it, but there will be content hopefully starting next week on it. I'll throw the link in here. It's Big Energy Sports. It's my second YouTube channel that I gotta pull it up here. It's gonna have more sports betting content, and not even just sports betting. Like, I'm open to anything. I'm gonna try and find creators. I'm open to literally, like, if it's like comedy type sketch stuff, but sports related. I'm open to a lot of things on there. I have a vision for it, but for right now, we just need to get content up and find the creators. So you can go check it out. Subscribe over there. I'm probably gonna start out by doing just whatever the most anticipated games. Monday night football, right? Sunday night. Really popular 4:00 games, whatever it is for Sunday slates. I'm gonna be doing just some short previews for sports betting wise. But yeah, we're going to try some different things up. All right, I'll scroll a little bit on this. I saw somebody asking. I'll scroll so you can see some of the people on the bottom of this. How much salary are you leaving on the table? $700 in at least every single lineup. Ryan Nall tonight, he had one snap last week, so I don't even know if Artavius Pierce, if they activate him, there's a chance they just deactivate Ryan Nall tonight. We will find out in probably 20 minutes. Since Evans is in, is Gronk not a good play? I don't have much interest in Gronk. I got like 3%. I don't think he gets the bump that people are expecting. I think he obviously can. He can score a touchdown in the red zone tonight, of course. I don't think he gets the bump that people are expecting. But yeah, I mean, the Stars play on under the lights, right? Stars come out on the night game, so maybe he's got a little bit extra juice in him. Miller or Vaughn for you? Anthony Miller or Vaughn? If I'm starting a line with one player, I'm starting with Vaughn. I have Miller right now projected for barely more, but I'm starting with Vaughn because of the price difference. How do we contact you about working with you? If you have a portfolio of work, you can email it to the email in my Twitter header. In a portfolio of work, I mean like samples of just on-camera personality or just, I don't want blog. I don't want any written work. I think that stuff's dead in my opinion, or will be very soon. But audio, so podcasting and YouTube, if you guys do it, if you have a YouTube channel and you've been doing it, if you have samples, you could shoot them to my business email, which is linked to my Twitter profile at SalVetri Dfs. Other than that, though, like, I know like a lot of people want to just like come off the street cold and do it, but I can't spend the time to like train people on that type of stuff. Like I have somebody helping me. They're going to release a video tomorrow at noon. You can check it out. A player props video, Dylan Bird. You can see it on Twitter. I mean, that's just somebody that he reached out to me with a huge portfolio of work, like his own blog with lots of work, very good work, detailed, on-camera personality, podcasting. So I was like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm giving you a platform. You're taking some work off my plate. There's a good mix, right? No sweat off my back. Sal's $2,300 too much on the table? No, Sean, no, it is not. How many points do you have projected for A-Rob? Like 17. Yeah, I have A-Rob and Ronald Jones basically projected for the same points, but obviously Ronald Jones is a good deal cheaper, so that's why I prefer Ronald Jones in a lot of spots tonight. Yeah, I got to try and figure out what to do with this Tyler Johnson tonight and Keyshawn Vaughn. I mean, Tyler Johnson's going to operate as wide receiver 3. He's a rookie. He's pretty inexperienced, but he played 25 snaps last week, ran some routes. Half of them were about passing routes. I think 14 passing, 11 run blocking routes for Tyler Johnson last week. So, I mean, $200 is crazy for a guy who's going to go out there and maybe run 25 routes today, right? Even if he runs 20 routes, Tyler Johnson. So we got to see. Like, I don't want to lock button him in 150 lineups by any means because he's 200 and it doesn't seem like we really need all that much salary tonight. But, I mean, this is a guy at $200 who can go out there and easily score 10 points, right? This guy can easily catch 5 passes tonight. It's not likely, but the path is there. Aside from Rojo, who's your next highest owned captain? It's all receivers. They're close. Like, I have Allen Robinson up there. It's just a bunch of receivers. I even have Tyler Johnson in my captain allocation, and he came through. He came through as a captain that I will be owning 3% of tonight. But all the wide receivers except for Anthony Miller. I just think he's a really bad value tonight, which probably means he's going to score a couple touchdowns. But, yeah, Robinson, Mike Evans, Scotty Miller. Evans and Robinson look pretty similar. Like, it's nothing crazy here, right? I mean, some people like to kind of play their slates and hope for chaos, right? Play the defenses in, like, a lot of their lineups in the captain spot. That's fine. Like, if those people have the stomach for it and you eventually bank one of the big prizes, I think it makes sense. And this is like $400,000 the first tonight. So if you're somebody who's just like, yeah, I know that this is obviously an awful approach long term, but if this game is 13-3 tonight or 13-6 and it's 2 defensive scores are the only scores in the game, then I'm feeling pretty good. And yeah, that's the truth. That's what you're playing for, right? You're hoping that you can hit on those one time. Love the content, man. Only place I go for expert advice. Keep it up. Congrats on the 30K. Thanks, man. Yeah, we are very close. Yeah, hit the subscribe button if you're watching right now. How many people are in here? 9. Oh my God, we have over 1,000 people watching on Thursday night. What's up? What's up, everybody? Almost 1,100 people. What's going on? Yeah. Let me know what you think of the new background. And if you're brand new here, again, subscribe button. Let me know in the comments. A lot of people just say that they're brand new here. So what's up? Ron Jones is only showing up in my MVP spot. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. If you checked your allocations, you might have a really bad optimizer. Yeah, so we're less than 300 away from 30,000 now. It's pretty cool. Ted Ginn worth a flyer or just go down to Johnson? Yeah, Ted Ginn's like the wide receiver 5 or 6 on this team, so I have no interest. Like, he might not run a route tonight. He's been running like 3 routes a week or like 6 routes last week, 6 snaps, whatever it was. I would not have much interest in the Ted Ginns of the world. He's just like let's list off since this rookie and Darnell Mooney looks good. I mean, it's Allen Robinson, Mooney, Anthony Miller based on how they're running it right now. And then you just have a hodgepodge of guys after that, whether it's Javon Wims, who's running ahead of Ted Ginn, Cordell Patterson, who's playing more snaps, albeit in the backfield too. Like, Ted Ginn is the wide receiver 5 or 6 right now on this team, and I'm just not going to go there. Any interest in Brate? No, I mean, it's at least worth mentioning, right? O.J. Howard is hurt, so Brate's going to should see more run, but he was seeing like 3 snaps a game or 3 routes a game. If Brate goes up to 12 routes a game in this one, he's already priced for it. If Brate was $1,600, yeah, $2,000 maybe. $3,800, I can't get there when there's guys that are $200 and $1,000, and they look way better than him, like double his points. Somebody says I'm new. What's going on, Josh Ruschel? How you doing? You Italian, man? What's up? Mooney and Brady or Miller and Foles tonight? I'll go Mooney and Brady. Sal on his way to making the next Awesemo. No, I don't really have any interest in that. So basically what I want to try and do with this second channel is I have a plan written down and kind of mapped out a little bit. The second channel is more so content hub, not so much obviously directing it towards your own site if you have products is the ideal situation, but more so content hub, trying to create a little bit of a podcast network on there that doesn't have just my face on it. The personal channel will always stay here. This fantasy stuff will always be here, but something on another channel where long term, if in 5 years I don't want to be doing this or 3 years or whatever it is, I could be like, all right, I got this other channel where I'm generating revenue and hosting and having like 5 or 6 creators under my belt that I'm paying and all this type of stuff, right? Nice fades out. Props to your barber. Yeah, he's really good. He's really good. Good stuff, Sal. Good luck. Same to you. I hit 2 out of the 4 weeks listening to your shit, somebody says. I hope that's a good thing, because if you're hitting 2 out of the 4 weeks, that means 50% of the time, and only 20% of the people win in their contest, so you're doing really well. You're doing really well. Mooney over Miller, more snaps/targets? Yes. Somebody says, yeah, I'm Italian. Same. What's up? Fellow Italiano. Anyone a must play in cash? You shouldn't play cash tonight on the Showdown Slate. It seems pretty dumb. What would be your top prediction? My top prediction? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like on the game? I don't have a lean on this game. I would lean Tampa Bay, but I don't have a lean. Eric Kaufman says, Sal, your Showdown Slate videos are must see. Keep up the work, my man. Thanks. I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate that. What's up, man? How you doing? I've seen that avatar before. I don't know if you're in the Osmo Slack, but I've seen it before in the past. Somebody says 300K. Peter Hanley says, what do you mean 300K? That's what you want? Nice. Tyler Johnson at captain, ? Or is that crazy talk? I don't think it's crazy talk, no. I mean, I don't really see a mate. Obviously, Scotty Miller's chemistry with Brady is going to be better because he's played with him all season long. But Tyler Johnson's the healthiest receiver out there. And yeah, like take away the price tags. Tyler Johnson's going to run a lot of routes tonight. Out of the slot, you expect his team to run 3 wide receiver sets. If they get ahead, it might be more 2 tight end sets and running the ball. So that's where he, instead of runs 25 or 28 routes, if they're in a route like Evans and Scotty Miller would run, maybe he only runs like 17 or 18. So that's your concern. But yeah, I don't think when you're asking me that, you're not asking me to be your highest owned captain. I have 5 lineups on my 150 with Tyler Johnson in them in the captain spot. Scotty Miller is captain. Yeah, that's viable. What's good, Sal? I'm at work right now, but I had to drop in to show some love. Good luck tonight. Good luck to you as well, Akil. Marinara sauce equals Italian water. Yeah, some people call it gravy. Some people get mad at that. I don't know. Indifferent. Have any exposure to Gronk at captain? No, I do not. He's definitely a play in the flex, I believe. I have 3% in the flex, and I would like 0% Gronk, honestly. These tight ends are hard to get to. When you have a pass-catching running back and a wide receiver 3 that are going to be playing full roles tonight in Keyshawn Vaughn, well, maybe not full, but in this offense, an RB2 is getting double-digit touches a game. So full role for an RB2 at $1,000 and a wide receiver 3 playing a full wide receiver 3 role tonight in Tyler Johnson at $200. Why would you pay $6,000 for a dusty old tight end on both sides? 2 veterans that are dusty and old that need to rely on touchdowns to do anything. I have a feeling that Ginn is going to troll down tonight. Yeah, I mean, Ginn's going to run 5 routes tonight, and if he catches a long bomb, he catches a long bomb. What's up, Sal? What's going on, Tyler? Are you fading Brait tonight? I mean, I'm not fading him. I'm just not getting him, right? So, I mean, by definition, yeah, I have 0%, but, like, he's not highly owned, and he's not even, like, in consideration for me. I wish they would just sit Evans. Yeah, I mean, they could give him the Devontae Adams treatment, right? Devontae Adams was like, he can play, and they were like, we're going on a bye week, and we don't need you for this win. They might need Evans, though, because they would then be down to their wide receivers 3, 5, and 6. That's not great. I've been running good in these showdowns until the 4th quarter. Yeah, you can't even check your lineups until like the last 2 minutes of the game. There's not even a point, honestly. Like I check at halftime just to see like if I got anything stirring, like any correlation working well, and then I usually fall asleep and then wake up. That's just usually what happens when you fall asleep. You wake up. Andrew donates $2 Rooskies. He says, "Damn, I'm late. Been working on the horse farm." Hey, nice. That sounds fun. What do you do there? Is it more maintenance or a little bit of both? Maintenance and play? What are you doing there? Vaughn and Jones in the same lineup? Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't have any rules against it. Look, if this was Fournette and Jones, I would probably be against it because of the price points. But it doesn't matter when Vaughn's $1,000. Vaughn catches 5 passes tonight for 30 yards. He's got 8 fantasy points at $1,000. I mean, barring on what happens with Tyler Johnson, that's probably enough to get into a lot of cash lines, if not winning lineups. Should I trade Calvin Ridley for Amari? I would want Amari in that deal. I'm a Hall of Fame member who's been on a nice streak. Do you like any of Jimmy Graham? Hey, Jermaine, what's going on, man? Yeah. Hall of Fame member. Nice. Top tier Patreon member right there. He says, do you like any Jimmy Graham? I have 7% Jimmy Graham in the flex, so that's 10 of my 150 lineups. I have no Jimmy Graham in my captain spot. You playing a lot of the Bucs defense tonight? I have currently more Bears defense, but I have 13 lineups of Bears defense, 12 with the Bucs. So, I mean, they're both good defenses. They're both right now borderline. They're both top 6 overall defenses. The Bears are a little bit better. They're like 4th overall. Bucs are 6th. These are 2 really good defenses. Both have good running games or good run defenses. Both secondaries are actually playing better than expected. The Bears, you would kind of expect it a little bit, but better than expected. And both pass rushers are getting there. Is it okay if I leave 2,100 on the table? Yes, sir. Any stacks you wouldn't use tonight? 3, 3, 4, 2, 5, 1. You're a legend. I'm actually not using any 5-1s tonight. Sometimes I do. I can see it working tonight because of how cheap a lot of these Bucs are. Like, you can have a lineup tonight where you have a Brady in there, you have a Ronald Jones, you have a Keyshawn Vaughn, you have a Tyler Johnson, and then Evans just gets in because he gets like 15 points, right? So I do think 5-1s can work just because of how cheap the Bucks are tonight, and like to pay off their salaries and being winning lineups. Like Tyler Johnson gets 11 points. That's not a lot of points for a wide receiver 3 on most slates. It's not crazy to think that, but it would be crazy for $200. So I currently don't have any lineups that are 5-1 tonight. That's something that I might change. It's my farm, setting up my fence for two new horses. Nice. Congrats, Andrew. That sounds fun. I don't know if congrats is the right word, but it sounds fun. How much percentage of David Montgomery do you have? 0%. Gronk in the captain spot? No, thank you for me. Who grades out better for you, Vaughn or Tyler Johnson? Also for upside. So before I started this stream, I had Vaughn for about a point more in my projections than Tyler Johnson. I put them at the exact same points right now, and I get more Tyler Johnson. As a wide receiver, I think he has a higher ceiling than Keyshawn Vaughn, especially since Keyshawn Vaughn's an RB2, but I do think Keyshawn Vaughn will be involved tonight. And if the fourth quarter of the last game is any indication, Ronald Jones dropping passes, Keyshawn Vaughn seeing a lot of targets and usage, I do think Keyshawn Vaughn will be involved tonight. Because look, it's not just Fournette out. It's LaShawn McCoy out as well, right? And then it's also like a fourth string running back as well out. So yeah, it's something that, let me check the exact name. It is Kenyan Barnard, the former Eagle. So yeah, they've got everybody out tonight. They've got Kenyan Barnard out tonight. They've got LaShawn McCoy out tonight. And they've got Leonard Fournette. So they're only running backs, right? They're only running backs that I even know of. Like TJ Logan, I don't even know if he's a fullback or not. He's on their depth chart. At least this depth chart, I don't know if it's updated. But their only running backs are Ronald Jones. That's why he looks like a great play. And Keyshawn Vaughn, who they gave usage to in that last game and is a probably better pass catching back. Both suck at pass protection. So yeah. Just to follow up on the Bucs defense question, would you rather play the Bucs defense or Mooney? Mooney. Monkey Knife Fight is gold, says Andrew. Yeah, Monkey Knife Fight's fantastic. They're not sponsoring the show, but promo code Vetri, VETRI, gets you a free money up to $50. They're going to match you 100%. You put in $20, free $20. You put in 50, free $50, right? Do you think Evans will play the full game? Julio only made it to the half last week. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Julio had that lingering injury. He tweaked it the week before, and then he tweaked it 3 weeks before that. So, like, Julio's is just a detriment now, right? He's an older receiver. Julio Jones, I would not expect to play this week. Honestly, I would not expect him to be full health for, like, another month. And that's if he shuts it down. But Mike Evans, I don't know. I really don't. Why no Montgomery? Because he's expensive, and I don't think he's going to have the pass catching role that some might think that he will. And he's facing a Bucs defense that is pretty much allowed like 3 yards per carry right now. He needs to score 2 touchdowns, in my opinion. If he was $5,800, I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll get some Montgomery. He's $7,800, more expensive than Ronald Jones, more expensive than Keyshawn Vaughn, who I have projected close to him, believe it or not. Relatively close, right? At least for the price points. So I purposely took out David Montgomery. It's a stand that I'm making. Look, you can just run your projections in an optimizer and then just yippity-doo, go on your way, change some rules and stuff like that, but you have to take active stands. You actually have to put a strategy behind it in some human context, right? So I go 0% David Montgomery to try and get some leverage. He's going to be in 40% of the lineups, I would assume, tonight, 40 or 45%, 50 maybe. I'll just take 0. And if he doesn't do well, he's not in the winning lineups, well, that's a little bit of leverage. If he does fantastic, then I go home. I take my ball and I go home. Leave Julio alone. He's washed up. Same with AJ Green. I don't think Julio's washed up. I think people overreact to both of these situations. Julio Jones, week 1. Did you not see what he did? Week 1, goes for 9 catches, goes off for like 100 and something plus yards or 10 catches. Julio Jones is not washed up. He's injured. AJ Green, in my opinion, I don't really know what to make of him. He does not look good out there. I give you that. But week 1, he was open for a touchdown, overthrown. Week 1, he was open for like a 25-yard pass, overthrown. So I don't know. Joe Burrow has not been good either. He had his best game last time out, but he has not been good either. Like, fantastic. So it's a rookie. You would expect that with no camp. No rookie camp, at least mini camp. So, yeah, I don't think Julio's washed. I think AJ Green's, like, quote-unquote washedness is way overhyped by a lot of people. Because, look, he's had tough matchups. He's had shadow matchups. Once he goes out there and has a 9-catch, 100-yard game, everybody's going to just forget about it, right? It's like Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon now, there's no worries about Joe Mixon. I don't get any questions this week about trading low on Joe Mixon. It's all trading high or keeping him. What's the best lineup for tonight's game, asks Alec. You're going to want to put Aaron Rodgers in as many spots as you possibly can with your salary. Do you like Mooney a lot? I like Mooney a good amount, yeah. I would have liked him a lot more if we didn't get all these injuries to make a ton of value open up on the slate, because he was the best-looking value on the slate until Keyshawn Vaughn and Tyler Johnson opened up, just money-wise. But, yeah, I get a lot of Mooney. Yep. I currently have 46% Mooney in my utility. Add in my captain spot. I'm over 50% overall lineups with Mooney. I'm going to recrunch the 20 max and try and filter through. Sal, Kramer crushed your channel a few weeks ago. This is by far the best content I've experienced. Thank you for paying attention to the chat. Good luck. Hey, Vincent, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody knows who Andrew Schultz is. He's a comedian. Gary Vaynerchuk, right? a big content guy as well. And there's all other creators as well. But yeah, just interaction is what I'm trying to figure out. Interaction works from a vlogging standpoint, just a different type of interaction. Interaction works from obviously like live chats and things like this. This is just straight up interaction. Interaction is a very interesting thing if you use it correctly in content, because it's easy content for me just answering Q&A. It's very beneficial for people watching because their Qs are getting A'd, their questions are getting answered. And there's something about it that is just, it draws a lot of attention. Like Andrew Schultz only blew up and became as big as he is. I mean, he was decent size, like good size creator, but blew up to like different magnitudes, being on the Joe Rogan Experience twice, like huge magnitudes, because he started doing crowd work and he just started going into the stands, and literally his whole show, instead of stand-up comedy, he still does that, but he just started making fun of like the people in the crowd, right? It was called crowd work. It's something that's known in comedy, but he just started like full out doing it, posting it on social medias. And I just track a lot of different things, whether it's just simple things about like how you see there's a video behind me now, thumbnails, the type of ways people are doing their content. I try and like track a lot of different things and implement that. It's difficult to try and implement it into this space, especially with what's going on. Like I can't just go out on the street. In comedy, you can just do a joke to anybody. I can't just go out on the street and record it and see what happens. I can't go out on the street and be like, who do you want me to answer your start-sit question, right? I can't do that. So there's something else that I got to try and unlock with that. But there is upside in terms of getting to stadiums, right? Sports stadiums and doing things like that with sports betting that are in the back of my mind. What are the chances that they pull Foles to put in Trubisky? I put it at 10%. Yeah, that sounds like a fair number. I don't really know. Gronk tonight or Gesicki? Oh, for your season long, I would go Gesicki. Do you like Aaron Rodgers with all the win tonight? Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he has a firearm, and he's literally on God mode right now. So he could be playing in a tsunami, a hurricane, a forest fire. He's going to be fine. Any suck up at $4,200 or not? Why? He's a kicker. My answer for all kickers is if they get into my lineups, that's fine. I'm going to get only one at most. I'm not going to explain why or why not I get a kicker, right? Maybe I'll have 2 field goal attempts. Maybe I'll kick 3 extra points, right? So these kickers I projected for like 7 or 8 fantasy points. There's not much to it other than the Vegas odds on how many attempts they're going to have, their percentage makes, and all this type of historical data that goes into my projection. I have, in my 150s, I have both kickers, but not high amounts. Not high amounts. I don't even want either kicker, to be honest with you. Like 0%. I might just cross out my kickers tonight because, and these are the types of moves I'm talking about. The optimizer is not going to cross them out if they get into some lineups, but if I got a starting wide receiver and a RB2 who's going to get usage tonight for way cheaper, why am I playing kickers that are going to get me like 6 to 8 points? Yeah, obviously, if one of them scores 12 points, that's upside. One of them hits a 50-yard field goal and another field goal and a couple extra points, yeah, that's upside. Windy night, maybe we take them out. Maybe we fade the kickers tonight, right? I'm going to play around with that. I might fade the kickers tonight because there's just so much value in the positional spots that it's really hard for me to imagine that a kicker gets into a winning lineup. Tyler Johnson has 5 catches tonight. Keyshawn Vaughn catches 4 passes. These kickers are absolute toasted right when that happens. So, yeah, I'm going to take the kickers out. I'm not going to play any kickers. There we go. We just talked through that one pretty easily. The kickers are now out of my lineups, and we are recrunching our lineups. Fade these kickers. Keyshawn Vaughn or Tyler Vaughn in the single entry. Yeah, so I'm getting more Tyler Johnson, but I'll let you know right after I run this crunch on what exactly I'm getting. But I have them projected for like basically the same amount of points now. I think Tyler Johnson will have... I think Keyshawn Vaughn will have more opportunities, right? Like 6 to 8 touches on average. I think Tyler Johnson might see 4 or 5 targets. Projecting for right around the 4 mark, so upside if he catches them, right? Foles or A-Rob if you had to choose one? A-Rob. Why are people talking about Aaron Rodgers? Because he's the best captain option tonight? What's up with Rodgers? He looks like, he's underpriced and he's on God mode. He looks like the best captain option tonight. Any Cordell Patterson? Not for me, no. He would have been like maybe in a couple of my lineups, right, if I boosted his randomness and all these other cheap guys didn't open up. But Cordell Patterson's 10 snaps tonight, 4 of which he's like just a decoy, right, like a run block fullback, weird plays that they use him on, is like 8 snaps tonight, honestly. They're just not going to be that appealing to me when there's so much other value on the slate. Let's see what we got here. I could change up this background. You want me to put the beach one on? Let me try. I don't know if that'll mess everything up on this stream, but let's see if I can get this beach one on. Let's take a quick second here. Don't worry, I'll answer these questions. Let's put this beach one on. Let's see what happens. Dang, there we go. Hey, you like the beach one more? There's a lot. There's a whole website that has these things for free, so I just got to find the ones that work the best. I could also blow this up a little bit more since we don't really care too much about what the typing says since I'm answering questions, and we can do this. That looks a little bit better. Does this like look half decent? I don't know. Pairing Aaron Rodgers with 1 to 2 pass catchers, or are you going to run him naked? I think it's tough. I'm going to pair him with the pass catchers, yeah. Aaron Rodgers is not on the slate. Don't play Aaron Rodgers, somebody says. Bradley, what are you talking about? Play Aaron Rodgers tonight. Brady or Evans in the captain spot? I like Evans more there. I don't have any quarterbacks. Do you see Tyler Johnson being lower owned than Vaughn in both the captain and the flex spot? I honestly don't think so. If I had to guess, so in a bubble, I would say that you're probably going to see higher ownership to Keyshawn Vaughn in the flex. In the captain spot, I would say it's pretty comparable tonight. Like, I don't think you're going to get more than like 1 or 2% ownership on them in the captain spot. But in your flex spots, I'm getting way over the field. Like, I think that Keyshawn Vaughn probably comes in 15%. Tyler Johnson probably 10, 12. I'm going to be way over the field, though, since I'm fading kickers and all that type of stuff. Right now I got Keyshawn Vaughn in 36% of my lineups, and I've got Tyler Johnson in, if I include the captain ownership, 50% of my lineups. So we're going pretty heavy on these guys. Shout out Tyler Johnson. Look, he's $200, right? He only burns my lineups if he doesn't catch like 2 passes. If you don't know why Rodgers is being mentioned, you don't know Sal that well. Yeah, it's an inside joke. For the people in here right now that are all new, I know there's a lot of people. It's an inside joke. You guys like this beach right now? What's going on? Aaron Rodgers a go, somebody says. Nice. He's good. He's good to go. Yeah, it's an inside joke. Whenever people ask me who's your favorite play in the slate or things like this, questions that are not even questions, it's just stopping in for 30 seconds to get a quick answer. I just say Aaron Rodgers. Mooney or Miller, last spot. Mooney for me. Are you going a no QB tonight? I have 150 lineups. I don't know. I would doubt any of them have no QB because I have total ownership to the QBs at 125%. Only running backs I'm getting are the Bucs running backs. I have both for Bucs running backs, no Bears running backs. Getting a lot of wide receivers. Somebody asked me about Cordell Patterson. I ended up getting 3% Cordell Patterson once I eliminated the kickers because the kickers were in like 20-something of my lineups overall. Lenny is active. Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me. Fournette's active. We got to change this whole shit up. Oh, my God. Well, now we have to start to worry if this is going to be a full-on roll for Lenny. First of all, Keyshawn Vaughn is still in play, but nowhere near as in play, right? Because LaShawn McCoy is out, and that was the bigger role that was the role he's going to fill in the first place. So, well, that's annoying. I'm going to have to update these projections now. Man, oh, man. Lenny Fournette active. So that came out at 6:50, right? Hour and a half before the game. All right, we got time. He's going to be covered by Michael Irvin, somebody says. Brait or Ian Thomas? Ian Thomas. No QB captain exposure, none for me. Nice, over 1,150 watching. Hey, that's a new record for the Thursday nights. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? If we can get to 1,300, that'd be crazy. Also, there's a lot of new people in here, I know, because, we're getting people in here. So hit the like, hit the subscribe. The subscribe takes 2 seconds, and we are less than 300 away from 30,000. So I appreciate that a ton in advance. And if you're liking what you're seeing here, you can check out Twitter, @SalvageDFS. My whole content schedule's up there as well. Somebody says, Bears get a pick 6 tonight. Yeah, play more with Bears then. I'm going to have to update these ding projections now. It's very simple. It is 3 different players, but obviously Ronald Jones becomes less appealing if Fournette is going to have a pretty significant role. Hopefully we get some more news on what his volume is going to be. Anytime that I have my OBS open, which is the recording studio for what I'm doing, and I have these videos on in the background, it screws everything up. It literally screws everything up. It makes all my other content really slow. Somebody says, thanks for the advice. Oh, man, nice. This guy just won $2,300 on some bet, I think. Payout potential payout. Godwin and Fournette officially active. Godwin's in too? Is this guy for real about Godwin too? Godwin, wasn't he ruled out already? Fournette is out, somebody said. Okay, so we're getting conflicting information. Fournette playing takes away from Gronk too. I don't think that's really a big deal. Fournette is out. Somebody's saying Fournette's out. Somebody's saying he's in. All right. We got some mixed reporting right now. So before I even change this single thing, we got to wait a little bit. Somebody says if you comment and subscribe, your odds of winning boost by 80%. That's what I heard. Evans playing per Rick Stroud. All right. We just got to wait on the news right now. My stuff on my end, I have a phone, so I guess I could use that thing. Because that seems a lot quicker than what my laptop's currently doing. All right, so Lenny is doubtful. Godwin is out. Yeah, but 6:50 we had the new reports come out. I don't know which one it is. Nah, man, I'm joking. Fournette is out. Okay. If Fournette is out, then I don't have to change anything. Bills and Bucks is scheduled for Sundays being moved to Tuesday at 6 p.m. as long as there are no more positive tests with Tennessee. All right, so there we go. That game's off the slate. So now my video that I have coming out on Saturday is kind of ruined, but whatever. What are you going to do? Sal, can you please confirm the news? Somebody is trolling. Yeah, I'm going to Twitter right now. I'm going to Twitter right now for the injury report on this game. So give me a second. Roto World always late as hell, so I can't check there. I got to find the exact source. All right. Mike Evans is ready to go. 6:50 is when the official news comes out. Let's confirm this real quick. Fournette is in, Sal, somebody says. All right. I don't know which one of these are trolls, so I'm just going to wait this one out. Adam Hodge says Fournette's in. My source tells me that Fournette is out. Fournette is active, according to Field Yates. Running back Leonard Fournette is active after being listed doubtful. NFL update posted a minute ago. Leonard Fournette will be active tonight for the Bucs after being listed as doubtful this week. Inactives are going to be Godwin, Justin Watson, McCoy, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so Fournette seems to be active, but we don't have any role. Surprise good news for the Bucs. Leonard Fournette is active and will play after being listed as doubtful. So Mike Evans, Scotty Miller, and Fournette are all playing tonight. There you go. There you go. All right, so Fournette is active. We don't know. We don't have any updated news on what his workload will be, and this is where the slate gets murky. But let me update these projections and try and work this out and see what type of a role I want to give this man. Scotty Miller is in. Yep. Lenny is active. Yep. Yeah, Lenny's active. All right, we got all that out the way. Fantasy Lab says active. Fournette is active. Yep. Yeah. Yes. All right, so he's active. That changes everything. That changes Ronald Jones' projection. That changes Keyshawn Vaughn. That changes the entire slate. We got over 1,200 people in here. What's up, everybody? 7 o'clock. Looks like it's getting a little bit popping tonight. What's going on? Is the stream delaying on your end? Is it lagging a little bit? Because if that's the case, it's because of this video background. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on with this background. If it's lagging it. Is it lagging? Hey, Sal, curious what your strategy is. Do you try and nail your captain spot no matter the price, or do you try and find the cheapest but most valuable guys? I play 150 lineups, so I don't have to worry about doing either. But I do play with a condensed captain pool. That doesn't mean one captain, but I got like 5 usually, with most of my ownership going to like 2 or 3. Lenny won't do squat, somebody says. Yeah, I'm just trying to update this real quick. This is annoying, man. Very, very annoying. Sending out new projections, somebody asks. Yeah, they'll be up before the game starts. Don't worry. We got an hour and 20 minutes. They'll be up on Patreon before the game starts. Will Rojo get 260 rushing yards? It looked real good before that news, so I got to see now. No lag on my end. No lag. Okay, perfect. Looks fine. Good. So it's just on my end. Vaughn out of play now? Vaughn's not out of play, no. LaShawn McCoy being out was the biggest bump for Vaughn in the first place. Obviously, Fournette being out is much better, but no, Vaughn is not out. 1,200 people, smash that like button and subscribe. Yeah, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Maybe we can get a little bit closer now to the goal of 30,000 by the end of the week on Sunday's live stream. But we're getting a lot of new people, so what's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. Titans versus Bills is Tuesday. Yeah, I know. I made a video that's scheduled for Saturday because I'm going to be traveling, and it's got Stephon Diggs in it. I mean, I'm leaving it, right? I'm not changing anything at this point. It could also be used for season long as they play. So I knew that was going to happen, too. I just messed that up. Yeah, cool. When you play 150 lineups, how do you choose which ones you put into your 20 max? Sometimes I handpick, and sometimes I just take the top 20 projected overall. What lineup generators do you use for stacks using? I use Fantasy Cruncher. Is this really not lagging? It looks like it's super laggy on my end. Which is really annoying because it's all because of these videos in the background, so I'm going to have to try and fix that. I can just literally shut it off, though. I can pause it. There we go. That might fix some stuff. Scotty Miller, captain. How do you feel about that? I have some, yeah. Colin Kaepernick is active, somebody says. That's fair. Good for him. All right. Let's pull this stuff up now. Do we go Scotty Miller over Rojo now? I will know in a second. Well, shit, I'm keeping Vaughn anyway. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to update these projections, right? I don't know anything until I update these projections and play around with my exposures. So we are into the projections now. And, yeah, you can keep asking questions. I will answer them in a second. I'm just updating the projections so I know how to answer these projections correctly. It is lagging. Somebody says lag. All right, no lag on mine. Somebody says, all right, whatever. I paused the video playing in the background with, like, the waves, so we should be good for now. All right. Updating projections on my end, Nowzer. And, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't shock anybody, but Ronald Jones is not going to look like anywhere near the same type of a play. Anywhere near it. The only thing I could do is project Fournette for a pretty normal role. Because I don't know how else to project it without putting any biases in there. So, with all that said, Ronald Jones is not going to look like anywhere near the same type of a play, which might actually lead me on now to David Montgomery, and this feels like awful. This slate just got really bad. But people aren't going to be ready for it, so we good. All right, updating these projections and ranks for Patreon peoples. We're at an hour anyways, but no lag on my end. Feelings on Graham. Yeah, so everybody asking questions, I will answer them in literally 1 minute. I just need to update literally every single thing now for this game because this is not the same game anymore at all, right? So let's see what happens here. Updating this, updating that. That's still fine. That's still fine. Alrighty. So Leonard Fournette is now the big difference. And, I mean, Fournette's not going to look that good, right? He's not going to look like a good play, in my opinion, but it's just going to ruin a lot of what else we had going on here. So that's good. That's good. Mooney's still fine. We don't have to change anything with Mooney. Bears D, all that stuff is good. Santos, Brate's fine. Patterson, okay. And Keyshawn Vaughn, the big one. I mean, Keyshawn Vaughn is still going to look like a fine play, just not as good of a play. Tyler Johnson will now look like a pretty clear-cut, better play than Keyshawn Vaughn. So let me update this now for the Patreon peeps. Let me change some of the stuff that we had on here in terms of Keyshawn Vaughn's overall ranking, and no longer can we rank the same for Leonard Fournette is now not going to be that good of a play, right? And Ronald Jones is not going to be that good of a play either. And now we update on Patreon, and then we log it into our Fantasy Cruncher, and we go from there. Okay, that took like 2 minutes. So we'll update it, and I'll go live for like another 5 minutes just to cover this stuff, and then bounce. Mooney, Brate, or Tyler Johnson? Yes. Yeah, so questions are about to be answered. Just updating these projections now and rerunning the crunches because this is going to get annoying. So now I at least have to put in David Montgomery since Ronald Jones is not an overwhelmingly better play. I'm actually going to have David Montgomery probably projected for more. Updated projections. Write that in there. Alrighty, Patreon people, live update is in. That is good to go. You want to sign up for Patreon? Link down below. What's the status on Rojo and Father Lenny? Father Lenny is now active. I mean, Rojo's been active, but I am uploading my new data into Fantasy Cruncher. And these videos on the background here, they're just brutal. Like this video thing in the background. Let me see if I do this. Oh my God, now we're all black. Uh-oh. But it just makes everything really slow down. I have to figure out what that deal is. All right, so we're uploading data. We're uploading these new projections. It's not gonna be good for Ronald Jones. I have to change this all. It's not gonna be good for Ronald Jones. Alrighty, let's see what happens here. I still don't think I want Montgomery. I'm gonna leave Montgomery out still. Probably not the smartest play now that Ronald Jones isn't as an overwhelmingly good play, but we'll see what happens here. Updated best pick. Somebody says, yeah, just updated on Patreon, and we're right now about to hit the crunch button on my Fantasy Cruncher. It's just trying to load the player IDs, which is always the worst thing when it doesn't load right away. All right, upload data. Man, this is just so slow right now. This is brutal. Jesus, OBS is so bad. I really need an alternative because OBS is just rough. All right, pause this. There we go. Let's see what happens if I do this. All right, we're just going to stop this for a second. This background. Sal, who do I got the most ownership to, my guy? Yeah, so if you're just hopping in, trying to update all these projections on the fly. Fantasy Cruncher, get up in here, Showdown. Okay, cool. What do we do now with Fournette? Fournette's not going to look good. I haven't projected for like 6 fantasy points. At least for me, he's not going to look good. I can't project a full workload. I'm projecting him for like 60%. The guy was doubtful, right? So I'm still projecting Ronald Jones to be the primary back tonight by 3/4 or so. I still think Keyshawn Vaughn looks good. And right now, okay, good. All my stuff saved. Now I just need to upload the data. And we should be underway. Okay, uploaded projections. They're uploaded. And we recrunch. Recrunch without David Montgomery, and let's see what happens. Rojo or Fournette now? I mean, I want Rojo more. I don't know if I'm going to get any Fournette still. It's not close enough to lock for me to want to take that risk. People are going to notice that he's out, so I don't need to worry about him being low owned. I think I was one of your first subs. Now you are popular AF, says Devin. Hey, what up? Are you using Streamlabs OBS or regular OBS? If you switch over to Streamlabs OBS, I can't switch over to Streamlabs. They don't have it on Mac. OBS is fine for me all the time. It's just now that I got these like videos playing in the background, that stuff's getting messed up for some reason. I don't know why that is. Yeah, you can't use, as of my last time looking, which was like 6 months ago, so maybe they changed it, but you can't use Streamlabs on a Mac. Alrighty, the new update is in. And as expected, Tyler Johnson is going to be my highest owned non-quarterback player tonight because of the fact that Keyshawn Vaughn's not as good of a value. So, updated ownership. Ronald Jones, 39% of my lineups. Keyshawn Vaughn, 21%. This is with no David Montgomery. We'll see what it looks like with David Montgomery. Tyler Johnson is now my highest owned wide receiver. Still have a lot of ownership to both quarterbacks. Getting a little bit more tight ends down, but nothing major. Still, we have the kickers turned off, and we're getting same amount of bucks. So, no Ronald. Pretty much what changed was I got a lot more Tyler Johnson. A lot more Tyler Johnson kind of similar ownership in the other areas. The captain ownership changes a lot because I had Ronald Jones in 50% of my captain lineups. Now it's just 15%. So I'm going all wide receivers for the most part in my top ownership at captain. Is the game canceled, Sal? What's up, David? The game tonight? No. The game for the Bucks or the Steelers game and Titans or whatever it is, the Titans and whoever the hell they're playing, that game got moved to Tuesday. Hey, Sal, would you trade? All right. You can use Streamlabs on Mac now. I do. Was that recent, John? Is it worth it? Is it worth changing over everything? Because then I will. Yeah, last time I tried to look was like 6 months ago and you couldn't. So hopefully they added it, which would be good. I'll look into it. That's good news, though, because regular OBS sucks. Mooney tonight, question mark? Yeah, I have Mooney in 12% of my captain lineups and 47% of my overall and my utility. So I have 59% Mooney as of right now. Okay, so we got everything that we needed tonight. Over under Fournette playing 10.5 snaps, says Ryan. Yeah, like I don't think Fournette's going to be a big deal tonight, but he's just going to cap what we're doing with Rojo. And I might manually bump up my Rojo projection. So let me do this. I'm going to try and middle this, right? So I have Ronald Jones not projected for the greatest amount of points. Let me try and bump him up a little bit just to try and get a little bit of a middle ground here and see what happens just in case Fournette doesn't play his snaps. Week 5 subscriber challenge. Head-to-head me and make a video charity like Al. Somebody says head-to-head me. No, I don't have any interest in doing like anything like that. Is the Pats game canceled? Somebody says. Oh, I didn't see anything. What's up, David? I didn't see anything on the Pats game. Does not sound the greatest though, right? The Titans don't sound the greatest either, though, and they only got moved, so we'll see what happens. Streamlabs is very easy to use and also pulls through your OBS settings. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I use Streamlabs, or at least attempted to. I used it for some stuff for Twitch, but not like full-out streaming, just like little add-ins. Streamlabs is great. Perfect. I imagine you have more Bucks ownership now. Yeah, so I got more Tyler Johnson ownership. I still am not getting Leonard Fournette. Yeah, I'm just going to play it as if Leonard Fournette's not going to be that dude. So my ownership for Captain Ronald Jones basically got cut in half. Still have 44% of my utility spot. Still not playing David Montgomery, which can bury me. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. I'm fading the kickers and David Montgomery. Pats are moved to Monday. Pats Broncos moved to Monday night. Interesting. So now we're down to 10 games on the main slate? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're down to 10 games on the main slate. 2 Monday night games now and a Tuesday night. I'm down for Tuesday Night Football, man, if it works. If they can make this stuff work. Thursday Night Football, let's go. Time to win some money, peeps. Mooney for the win. Hey, shout out to you. We almost got 1,300 people in here. Hit that like button. What y'all doing? Hit that subscribe button. If you got a second of your time, go subscribe to the second channel that I just launched yesterday. No content up yet, but there will be. It's mainly going to be around sports betting. I'm going to try and get some other creators on there. We're going to try and do some cool stuff. We're already up to 12 subscribers. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. Thanks for the live stream as always. Yeah, thank you. I'm about to peace out. We've been live for a little over an hour now. Biggest crowd that we've had on a Thursday night or Showdown Slate at all so far, so that's pretty cool. You can come back anytime. We're doing these live streams. My content is all up right now. Let me show this right here. Let's show this bad boy. There we go. Hit the little screen now. My content is up right now. All the content scheduled for the week on my Twitter at Vetri Dfs. You can check it out over there. All that stuff. Patreon is linked down below if you want the projections, rankings, not only for this slate, but the main slates. If you want Closing Thoughts podcast, 20 plus pages of game-by-game notes. I don't actually know what the exact number is this week, but it's been over that every single week. So we're just going to keep saying 20 plus. If you're running one lineup, would you not have Rojo in the captain right now? I would not, based on my exposures, no. Do you care that Fournette is playing? A little bit, yes. I need to at least account for it. I need to at least give him some snaps and some touches. It doesn't have to be a lot, but yes. Fournette is in. Yes, he is. Do you have a link for the new channel? Just dropped it in there right above, so you can check that out. What about Brate? A huge punt. No ownership towards Brate as of right now. Sal, before you go, what is your other channel? No content's on it yet. All I did was kind of launch it. But there will be content. It's going to be mainly fixated around sports betting. This is going to be my personal brand. Basically, still do some sports betting stuff. Basically, whatever I want to do, right? I might have some vlogs coming out and also all the fantasy stuff, of course. But that other channel is going to be more so not just me facing. I'll be in the videos. I'll be on some of them. But I'm going to try and find other creators to build something up with. But to start out, it will be me, but it's going to be more sports betting based. Some really quick recaps, or not recaps, previews of some of the bigger games, like Monday night games, whatever the biggest games on Sundays are. So like hard hitting, quick little like 5-minute videos on that. Going to try and do them in a different format, a little bit lighter, but also informative at the same time. And then also get some other people in there to try and develop some shows on a weekly basis. Just want to say congrats on the growth. Just joined. Who will you take for the Thursday Night Football? Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers. All right, everybody. Peace out. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Yeah, so Leonard Fournette being in, I'm not going to give him his full role based on my latest projection, but I am going to give him a 6 fantasy point projection, which hurts Ronald Jones, but doesn't make him out of play by any means. I'm still fading David Montgomery, and I'm still fading both kickers. And I'm getting a lot of ownership now to Tyler Johnson. Still have a good amount to Keyshawn Vaughn, 20%, but getting a lot now to Tyler Johnson. All right, everybody. Peace out. Have a great rest of your night. Like, subscribe before you go. Content will be dropping tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Friday, and we'll be dropping also at noon tomorrow, player props video with a new guest and a new person on this channel will be helping me out with that. And then Saturday, the That One Dude video, and then Sunday at 10 a.m. we'll be back for the Closing Thoughts show here. So, live show. So, peace out, everybody. Great rest of your night. See you all in the next one. Good crowd tonight. Good stuff.